Welcome back to the Sea of Galilee, DSMME, on this Friday, December 4th. This is the day we remember on our Jesse tree Abraham's sacrifice. Remember, we mentioned yesterday that Abraham chose to believe God, even though he and his wife Sarah were childless, but they believed. And eventually, God gave them a son, and this son was so beloved. If you have a son, or you have a daughter, or you have a very special friend, or your parents, or whoever you love, imagine this when I read this story. Again from Genesis, this is chapter 22. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and he placed it on his son Isaac. Okay, they're going up to do an offering. And he himself carried the fire and the knife. This is all part of the ingredients for the sacrifice being made to God up on the mountain. And as the two of them are walking, Isaac says, "Father." "Yes, my son," said Abraham. "We have the fire and we have the wood, but where's the lamb for the offering?" And Abraham, knowing what God had asked of him, simply answered with great faith, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." Whoa! And the two of them went on together, and then they unexpectedly, as Abraham is getting ready to sacrifice Isaac, who of his own will believed in his father and believed in God enough that he allowed himself to get on top of the wood and to lay down with his chest exposed. And here comes Abraham, and God sends an angel and stops them. No sacrifice of human life anymore. If this doesn't reach to the core of our hearts, do we really respect each other? Why do we call God our Father in heaven? And what does fatherhood mean? And why do we call Abraham our father in the faith? He gathers his servants and Isaac with the wood and the sacrifice, and he sets out, and he's willing to make this incredible sacrifice. He who wanted this son more than he wanted anything else in his entire life. And when they reached that place, and he bounds his son on the altar, and he reaches out, the angel saves him. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt stretched to the nth degree in your faith? Like, I have believed you all along, but this, Lord, is too much to ask of me. All I have to do is drop this knife, and I have lost everything I've ever wanted and what you promised me. And get what the angel said. Don't even lay a hand on the boy. Why? Because the boy is from God. He too is sacred. And Abraham responds, "Now I know that I have to obey God." And the angel says, "You have proven that you fear God." Fear in the Old Testament many times means love. We stand in awe of someone that we love. Or we think of the gifts of the Holy Spirit, to fear the Lord. That means to love him, to stand in awe, to say, "Who am I, pipsqueak, compared to you, the Almighty, that you would love me?" So Abraham looked up and did what he knew he was there to do, offer a sacrifice. And he went and he found a ram caught by its horns. You will notice on here, one of the beautiful sisters who did these for you took the ram and she put the cross there, because without cross, without suffering, there is no love. And the crown of thorns to represent that God the Father would send his son. And he wouldn't send an angel to all of a sudden save him. He would allow him to suffer and die on the cross. Why? Only to say to us, do you have a first clue how much I love you? So today we have the ram that was offered as a sacrifice in place of Isaac. Signing off from the Sea of Galilee, DSMME. Stay in the heart of Mary, next to her son. What in the world is the perfect gift to give at Christmas? I know, sister, I'm just in the mood too. And so, sister, as we consider this, there are two things that can be a combo. You can get this incredible world-renowned book, and Mary's Yes Continues, all about vocational discernment, which every one of you need to know.
We have our Jesse Tree Advent Journal, which helps you go through the Advent season preparing for the coming of Christ.
I want you to note that this book sells for $17.95 originally.
And this is $12.95 originally.
But we have a Super Saver Christmas special. Yes. And so we can now get the two books together for $24 even. Now that's a steal.